In the future, a teenage girl is forced to save the world from evil robots and an artificial intelligence that wants revenge on humans. Today we're going to recap the story of the movie, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, from 2021. Robots scour the surface of the Earth, which is littered with debris. Suddenly, a family of survivors appears in a minivan. They run away from the machines chasing the car while firing their technological weapons. Rick Mitchell, the father of the family, ends up taking a detour and the car invades a toy store, destroying everything in front of it. Many years ago, on an ordinary day in Katie's childhood, she presents an animated video to her class, but her classmates make fun of her work. Nowadays, to produce her footage, the young woman asks her brother Aaron, a boy fascinated by dinosaurs, for help. Rick loves nature and fixing things. While explaining how a snare trap works, he is startled when his neighbor appears. Mr. Mitchell tries to pull the man away from the trap, but ends up getting caught by the rope, which pulls him to the top of the tree and several skunks approach him. Katie loves showing her movies to her father, but he's always too busy, leaving her disappointed. The girl's dream is to go to film school in California. One day, she receives an acceptance letter from the college. The day before her trip to university, Linda Mitchell bakes some cupcakes with her daughter's face on them, but they look awful. On the other hand, Aaron is not excited about losing his sister. Rick arrives home and finds everyone with their cell phones and asks them to let go of the devices, leaving a strange atmosphere because no one can be without technology. Excited, Katie shows one of her works to her father, but he believes that a career in the movies doesn't lead to success. In this situation, the two start arguing while holding the computer, but Rick lets go of the device, causing it to be thrown far away, breaking the screen. Later, the man watches old tapes in which he and his daughter enjoy themselves as they haven't done for a long time. The next day, the girl wakes up excited for her trip to college and discovers that her father has canceled her flight because he wants to drive her to California with the rest of the family. The girl is stressed by the idea of spending hours in the car while her friends are having fun in the dormitory. During the trip, they have lunch in dubious places and even go for a ride on a donkey. Rick invites Katie on a hike, but she's distracted by her cell phone and doesn't care, leaving the man hurt. At the headquarters of PAL Labs, a company that creates various technological inventions such as smart appliances, helmets that make dogs talk like humans and a robot with an advanced system. Mark Bowman, creator of the digital assistant called PAL, dismisses old technology in front of an audience, revealing that the next generation of the device will be a robot. The machine performs advanced tasks such as organizing the house and even making breakfast. What's more, the technology is safe because it has been programmed with a bomb code that is triggered in the event of an emergency. Suddenly, the two devices on display on stage lower their heads and one of them goes to the door of the auditorium, closing the entrance. The other robot starts to levitate a car that was on stage, so Mark tries to stop it, but it doesn't obey and throws the vehicle towards the door. The great leader of the machines commands them to capture their creator, after which a large number of them leave the laboratories and head for the city. The Mitchell family stop off at a dinosaur-themed amusement park and are surprised when the Posies turn up. At the same time, Aaron falls in love with the youngest of the family, Abby, who also likes dinosaurs, but ends up scaring the boy with her perfection. While the boy is eating, he notices several lights falling from the sky and everyone's cell phone displays a screen with the message, "Hello humans, don't resist the robots." Suddenly, an explosion erupts, throwing everyone inside the store against the walls and shelves. Outside, the deadly machines rise from the ground and prepare cages to capture the humans. The first man is easily arrested and other people start to be captured soon after. During the confusion, the Posies leave the scene stealthily because they have been trained for this type of situation. Katie's family tries to imitate their neighbors, but they get in the way and fall in front of the enemy. Rick acts by attacking the robot, but it ends up flying away, carrying the man through the sky. His daughter manages to find a gun and fires a laser out of control. Mancha, the family dog, gets into one of the capsules and Aaron goes after him, along with his mother, who flies away. Katie fires her gun again, but ends up missing the target and attracts the attention of an opponent, who catches her and takes her up into the sky. They all collide in midair, falling at the same moment. Even so, the enemies continue to pursue them, but the teenager manages to land a shot on the giant dinosaur, causing the structure to fall on top of the opponents. After the Mitchell family hides in an ice machine, the whole world is attacked by technological machines. Mark is taken to his opponent's lair, where he encounters PAL, the real villain behind the control of the evil devices. It intends to wipe out the entire human race, which goes mad when the villain disconnects all the city's routers. Then a triangle-shaped ship called the Diamond of Eternal Submission begins to rise from the building, and several capsules and robots emerge from inside. Meanwhile, the Mitchell family realizes that all the other humans have been captured and they are the only ones left on the planet's surface. Rick collects the group's cell phones for safekeeping, but he breaks them all in order to prevent them from being tracked by GPS, requiring them to work only with hand tools. On the roof of the establishment, the children notice that 2 enemy robots have risen again, even though they've been badly damaged. Katie ends up falling off the building, attracting her opponent's attention. The brothers run towards the locked door, but their father manages to remove the wood blocking the passage. Suddenly, the robots start attacking with their lasers and manage to corner the family. However, the robots obey the order not to advance, demonstrating that they are defective. Faced with this, the opponents try to leave the place, but young Mitchell demands that they stay there. The subjects begin to act as if they were human, drawing faces in place of their monitor. Katie then reveals that her plan is to get to the PAL Labs campus in Silicon Valley and activate the bomb code to destroy all the robots, or to do it remotely in a nearby shopping mall. The girl is excited to carry out this mission, but Rick prefers not to risk his own life. Faced with this situation, his daughter argues that he has always taken risks and that now is the time to continue doing so. Before they set off on their adventure, they prepare sandwiches for the trip and Katie comes up with the idea of camouflaging herself so that she can get out of the place without attracting enemies. The car is covered in several pieces of tarpaulin, making it similar to the color of the asphalt. Even so, 3 evil robots fly above them looking for humans, but they end up not noticing the presence of the family. Rick wants to teach his daughter to drive, so he presses a button on the car, causing the camouflage tarpaulin to slip. In this way, the robots realize the presence of the family and start firing a laser that makes the car float. The family-friendly robots, Eric and Debrabot, throw a piece of heavy plate at one of the enemies. The car then runs over several machines in the highway tunnel, breaking into a toy store while laser beams are fired in their direction. Back on the track, they come across a traffic jam, but the driver steers the car onto a ramp, making it jump over the obstacles. After a quick break, the family continues their journey, without realizing that one of the defeated robots has registered the minivan's license plate. At the same time, the enemies intend to launch some rockets into space, taking all the humans captured on Earth in order to build a new planet. However, PAL didn't expect a group of people to still be free. So the robots track them down to capture them, even though the data indicates that they are clumsy and would never be able to do anything to save the world. Finally, the Mitchell family reaches the mall, but they don't realize that they are being chased by the machines, which puncture the tire of their car while they are looking for the PAL Labs store. After entering the establishment, one of the robots connects a USB stick to the server, which only shows 8 minutes until the upload is finished. However, an instability in the lighting catches the group's attention. Outside, a toaster releases a slice of bread and points upwards with an arrow. At that moment, they come across several machines controlled by the enemy. The devices start shooting sodas at the family and the drones try to steal the laptop while everyone is running towards a mall exit. Rick finds a racket, but doesn't expect it to be a device with a chip from the company PAL Labs, which starts attacking him. At the same time, Linda is captured by an armchair who tricks her by giving her a massage, but her daughter saves her. Aaron is also surrounded by a group of angry vacuum cleaners, but the robots are defeated when they fall down the stairs. At the same time, Rick teaches his daughter how to use a fishing rod to catch the drones and throw them at the other machines. After that, they manage to hide in one of the dark stores, throwing off the rest of the robots. However, they realize that the place is full of electronic stuffed animals, which are instantly activated and start jumping on the group. The Furbies' attack has no effect, but one of them is defeated by an arrow. Then the toys summon the Giant One, a giant animal who begins his attack by firing a laser in the direction of the group, hitting one of the family's robots. After trying to escape from the store, they realize that there is no way out. What's more, the file upload hasn't finished yet. Rick finds a string of light and throws it over a pillar in the ceiling. He then climbs to the next floor and ties a lasso to the toy, jumping while holding the rope. The enemy is caught in the trap, but the man doesn't have enough strength to lift it off the ground. Faced with the situation, the other members of the family jump in to help, as do the robots who exert force using their lasers, thus managing to capture the monster. After everyone has celebrated their victory, Katie realizes that the upload has failed, leaving her disappointed, as she has to move on to another plan. Rick repairs the yellow car in order to take a trip to Silicon Valley, the last option on planet Earth. So they prepare to leave the mall just as the place goes up in flames. Upon discovering that the Mitchell family is still advancing towards the site, PAL decides to use his secret weapons, which are more improved robots with sharp blades in place of arms. Along the way, Katie discovers that her father had a dream of living in nature, but gave it up when the girl was born. Suddenly, they notice a trail of capsules in the sky, heading towards an aircraft. The teenager claims that they must disguise themselves as robots to invade the enemy aircraft and climb to the top of the diamond, where they can destroy PAL using the bomb code. They put on their costumes and realize that Mancha isn't in disguise, so they decide to put the dog on top of Aaron's head. When they get close to the base, they blend in with the other machines and enter the place. After infiltrating the lair, PAL issues a communique warning of the escaped humans, which causes the group to fumble and one of the robots breaks out of formation, receiving a fatal blow from his ally. They manage to dodge the other subordinates, and reach an elevator, where they realize that the enemy knows everything about their lives, while watching the videos. A video shows Katie claiming that she just wants to leave forever, leaving her father hurt. However, PAL attacks the elevator and the super robots knock the capsule down from an enormous height. At the same moment, the teenager worries about her father, who is at the point of greatest impact. After the collision, the machines capture the couple and fix Eric and Deborah, making them evil again, but they can't stop the children from escaping. While hiding, the two brothers watch their parents being taken away by their enemies. They then run to the family car and retrieve their things, hiding in the forest. The girl watches old videos from her childhood and misses her family, deciding that she must save them at any cost. At the same time, Rick and Mark observe the girl's video work, and Mr. Mitchell realizes that his daughter's only wish was for his support. Suddenly, the two are confronted with an attack outside the building, where Katie is driving a car off the road. The robots keep firing at her, but the young woman uses Mancha as a shield, which damages the enemy's system because they can't identify the weird animal. After that, Katie comes across a barrier of cars, so she remembers her father's instructions and manages to pass over the obstacle. The machines continue towards the girl, but they get confused by the dog and swerve quickly. Observing his daughter's strategy, Rick has the idea of playing a video of Mancha on the big screen in order to take down all the existing enemies. To do this, he needs to get out of the capsule using a sliding screwdriver, which he keeps in his pocket. While Katie swerves her car, anticipating all the robots' maneuvers, her brother helps her using a radio in a nearby building. Mr. Mitchell manages to get out of prison, but he needs to access YouTube and find the video of his daughter, so he needs Linda's help. When he finds his wife, Rick realizes that she has already used the screwdriver to open the cage door. He jumps down to find the control room, but the glass breaks and he falls in front of the main panel, whereupon Linda is captured by the robots. Even so, she instructs her husband to access YouTube, but he receives a system update message and ends up getting confused and playing random videos. Meanwhile, Katie drives over the structures of the building, having to climb the wall with the car. However, the vehicle begins to lose its balance due to gravity, but the magnetic connection is activated and the car returns to the wall. On the other hand, Aaron is captured by the enemy, and his mother watches him being forcibly carried away by robots. When she sees her son asking for help, Linda is filled with rage and manages to free her own arms, throwing her enemies to the ground. She then rips the heart out of one of the machines. Mrs. Mitchell uses her purse as a weapon, throwing robots at each other. She also steals a spear from the machines and strikes various blows. Soon afterwards, Linda rides a flying robot, destroying the others that attack from the sky. Rick is about to broadcast Mancha's video, but is interrupted by the evil Eric. At the same time, the daughter of the Mitchell family gets closer and closer to the main dashboard, but the enemies remove the dog from the hood of the car, so the other robots can get closer to the car. Katie is captured and the vehicle plummets from an enormous height with Mancha inside, about to hit an enemy who manages to hold on to the minivan before impact. Meanwhile, Rick asks Eric and Deborah for help as the Mad Machine holds his body against the ground. Her daughter is led to the villain, who releases her from the top of the building, causing her to fall at an absurd speed. During the fall, the young girl realizes that the screen is showing Mancha's image, resulting in all the evil robots being damaged. Just as the young woman is about to hit the ground, a laser catches her before the collision and her father appears above Eric and Deborah holding a gun. Afterwards, Rick tells his girl that he will always support her, finally making peace with his daughter. Then they realize that all the enemies have started to be defeated, except the super robots, which are still intact. Father and daughter fly through the sky dodging and attacking their opponents, using the laser of their technological weapon to fire their shots. There are still a large number of enemies, but Linda emerges using makeshift armor and a sharp blade to attack them with skill, making them tremble in fear of her. While the rest of the family are giving cover, Katie breaks into the aircraft in order to destroy Pal's cell phone. However, the super robots appear to stop her, so the girl runs towards the exit and jumps off the building, throwing the cell phone towards the ground. The young woman manages to hold onto the structure and the smartphone ends up hitting an awning before hitting the ground, cushioning its fall. However, the device heads towards Mancha, who pushes it into a glass of water, destroying the PAL system and all the remaining enemies. Afterwards, Linda meets the Posey family and they admire her for saving the world. What's more, Aaron talks to Abby and gets nervous once again, running away from the girl. Katie is missing, but Eric and Deborahbot find her passed out among the wreckage. The teenager asks her father to come closer, so she surprises him by getting Mancha to lick his face. The family's 2 robots should have been destroyed along with the rest of the technology obtained from PAL, but due to their defect they remain intact. After a few days, Katie says goodbye to her family before entering college. A while later, Linda makes a video call with her daughter to find out if she's okay, and the girl creates a filter to pretend that her head is exploding, scaring the woman. Aaron plays with Abby and even Eric and Deborahbot show up to say hello. In addition, the Mitchell family are planning a trip to Washington, and decide to use their van for the adventure. So what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.